Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Hello, everybody. Yes, there will be adult content and hey, fucking shit.
Although the rhythm of a single alga does prefer if that kind of stuff comes a little later than the first 7 seconds of the stream.
Yes, about 15 minutes in. Let's see, Deep State Annex was here. They're watching a movie, then they'll come back, apparently.
Hi, Purple.
Hello.
And Purple finally showed up just as we're starting.
Sorry. When I rush, I get clumsy, and then I have messes I need to mop up.
Oh, that's always fun.
I can relate.
And even though Jenny said she probably won't be here today, I still sent her the numbers for the stream, just in case.
Okay, yeah, in case she gets back before we finish. So how's everybody doing today?
A little worn out. I had a rough last night. Allergies.
Oh. Yeah, I was down all yesterday. Mostly I had such a serious migraine that light was painful, and until the sun went down, I had to sit here with a blindfold on.
Oh, yeah, it's always fun.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been listening to the Time Ships on audiobook when I'm walking Molly and taking care of some stuff around the house. That's been really fun.
Ships?
It's a canonical sequel to H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. It was written by Stephen Baxter, and it was officially approved by the Wells Foundation.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's the canonical sequel to the story. It's been quite good, too.
Was he a contemporary of Wells, or was this written after he was dead, or what?
No, this is only written a few years ago.
Okay, so it's a fairly recent one.
Yeah, it was been approved. It was officially approved by the Wells Foundation now.
Okay, well that's good. Sounds interesting. You'll have to give us a review on it on your show.
Yeah, I might. But it's been inspiring me to work on my own little sequel to his sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I've enjoyed Larry Niven's Man's End Wars series, where he opens up that aspect of the known space universe to other authors, kind of invite them in to play in the sandbox.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and part of the notion is that he doesn't military fiction isn't really his specialty. So he figures that that's a place where other authors would bring something to the table that he wouldn't be able to.
But also, since I'm listening to this story, I've been kind of looking at some of the other books that Baxter wrote.
Yeah, well, I would like to do that with the universe for my novels, just in the sense that the center point of it's this galactic alliance with 1,000 different species. So it's like there's infinite possibilities there. And one of the things I'm working on in conjunction with my novel is I'm doing kind of an anthology, which is basically just the backstories of about a dozen different races. And I'd be great if other people wanted to take off on that, if other people wanted to, create new species that are part of the Alliance and that, and, weave them into the stories. actually, one of the things I really wanted to do, for the cover art for my novel, is I would like to get like 5 different artists and have each one of them draw one of the main characters in their own style, without even knowing. Without even reading the book, just being given the background on that one character. Because I think that would really drive across the point better about, all of these being species that evolved independently on different planets, having no influence on each other's development.
And violent to you too, Sumami.
Cello Sumami.
Ayo.
So we're
go ahead.
Well, if you're still talking about your stuff, by all means finish.
No, it's just background ideas I've had for my universe.
Gotcha. Well, regarding the Let Freedom Ring project, I've been having some back and forth with my artist buddy about my logo, and also I'm still kind of going back and forth with Humanist Guitarist about some technical details about how to go about getting everybody's about how to do the file that I send out to everybody, and I might be asking him to do a little more work for me. So I was just telling Mage earlier that I was kind of adding that to my to-do list, along with normal stuff like burying the body and concocting an alibi.
Well,
we're live now.
Oh, darn.
I think
that,
for a humanist,
specifically, that's the body of a Ford truck.
Hello,
okay,
Harmonica Man.
Pro tip. Actually, I found 2 great pro tips if you need to hide a body. The first one is plant an endangered species over it, because the investigators probably won't want to deal with all the paperwork they have to do to dig it up. The other one that somebody just mentioned yesterday that I thought was great is that you bury the human body 8 feet down, and then you cover it up, and about 2 feet above it, you bury a dog's body. So that when they dig down, they'll get to the dog, they'll decide it was a false alarm, and they give up.
So, regarding the endangered species, there's a certain presumption that that they would bother, with paperwork in the first place. Like, if it's in your own backyard, who's going to know, that they're uprooting an endangered plant?
Oh, no, actually, that's easy. Because these days you could go on Google Maps and you could get the aerial photograph of your backyard to show what was growing there.
Oh, those Google Maps tend to be outdated.
True. Yeah, it depends how recent they're. I did notice that one time when I was living in St. Paul, and I had looked at our backyard from it, and it was still showing a pool that we had gotten rid of 2 years previously.
Mm. Before I jump to this video, let's see, what's today's National Stress Awareness Day, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
Anybody
Well-
feeling stressful?
Job hunting will do that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. We have this little bit of crap going on. So, IRS arrested a preschool teacher who dragged her out of class in front of traumatized children. Agent slammed her face first into the outer glass door as they push her outside. They then shove her again into the vehicle. The school was forced to close as both teachers and parents became too afraid to show up at the location. The teacher here has a legal work permit and passed a background check in order to teach at the Spanish immersion in preschool and daycare, according to witnesses in interviews. Yeah, legally, this took place in Illinois. They do have a thing that allows undocumented workers to become certified teachers. But they have to pass certain things, and they would have to be under things like DACA, which would prohibit them from being deported.
Won't someone think of the children?
Is the
Yeah. Just proving once again, ICE is just a bunch of thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because anybody who has any ethics can't stomach working for them anymore.
Yeah. Apparently, she was telling him that she has papers. She's
Yeah.
But there's also more to this. Is they might not have obtained a warrant to go into the school in the first place, which is required for them to have entered the property. Even if they were legally allowed to arrest her and all that, you still need a warrant to get in and have a problem to get in there.
ICE doesn't give a shit about warrants.
Oh, and the Kentucky Atheist is here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Joe.
And Harmonica Man is doing the Terminator impersonation.
Seeing as she wouldn't be eligible for deportation anyway, that makes, even if they had a warrant, that's still it's just them harassing her.
Yeah. But the problem is, so many of these people that they grab, never even get a chance before a judge. So they never get a chance to plead their case.
Yep.
Well, on a note that should help relieve some people's stress, yesterday's election results were very encouraging.
Yes, I was going to discover that myself too.
Yeah, that's Democrats were winning seats in many cases by double-digit margins.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Zohan Mandani will now be the mayor of New York, which I think that one's especially important because, he is proving to the Democrats that, having popular support can win elections, even if you don't have billions of dollars. Okay, May, do you have something to cover on this?
Oh, actually, you're kind of covering a lot of it. Also, we have Prop 50. He was voted on and passed.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was the California proposition for them to do a temporary redistricting to balance out the 5 Republican seats that balance out the 5 seats that Republicans created in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So California has created 5 Democrat seats.
Yeah, and best case scenario would be the Republicans attempt him to redistrict. It backfires on them, and they actually end up losing seats because of it, along with these 5 extra seats.
Yeah, and there's a very good chance of that because for the Republicans to do that in Texas, they cut some of their streets to razor thin margins. So if we see the kind of Democratic turnout next year that we saw yesterday, that could actually flip some of those Texas seats to Democrats.
Yeah, that's another thing. These sort of the results of these sorts of midterm elections tend to be reflective of what you'll see later on.
Yep.
And another interesting thing is every one of the candidates that Trump endorsed lost.
Yeah, that's been a pattern. That happened when Trump got elected too. That even with Trump winning the presidency, that a lot of the people that he backed for congressional seats still lost.
Yeah, and the news in Minneapolis is a little on the depressing side. The 2 strongest runners in the mayoral race were the incumbent Jacob Fry, who has a who has a reputation for dealing with problems with the police department by being very chummy with the police, which doesn't solve the problems. And his primary challenger was Omar Fateh, who's really popular in the Somali community. And he's there are some concerns about his ethics in terms of there's been some shenanigans with his campaign, and also his sister's involvement with a nonprofit has been a little shady, and indications are that he knew about it. So, and the results in the election are close enough that it's going to come down to counting like the second and third choice votes since it's ranked choice voting. So, fortunately, we don't have to have a runoff election.
Yeah, I actually hadn't been aware that Minneapolis was doing ranked choice voting until I read about that last night. But yeah, it sounds like you've got, 2 candidates that neither one of them was a great choice.
Yeah.
And I know there's a big distrust still of the Somali community. And there's a considerable Somali population here in St. Cloud too, and there's a very big cultural divide there on both sides.
Yeah.
That both sides are very willing to stereotype and villainize the other.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that really fucked the Republicans over, which they should have figured out with the timing, was that, one of Trump's promises was that he was going to reduce grocery prices on day one. Well, and not only are grocery prices out of control, but people didn't get their food stamps this month.
Yep, we are up about 5% in overall in cost of living.
Yeah.
And not only did he not send out the food stamps as judge ordered, they had to actually order it. Interesting enough, the provision saying for these emergency funds and said for shutdown or disaster. Well, apparently they went in and tried to take out for shutdown on the page, and they got caught. And the judge was like, "No, you have to do this." So they're not only are they lying, but they're trying to rewrite what it's publicly available. Well, to tell all of them that tell us that they're lying. On top of not giving us food stamps, which is apparently leading to some looting already, they also did. Trump also didn't really or canceled something around 94 million. What was it? 94 million tons or pounds of food that was to go to these food stores, food banks.
Yep.
Let me double check the number here.
And it's just the Republicans should have seen this. That this was the worst possible time for them to cut the food stamps.
Pounds of food, okay. So.
Yeah. But millions of pounds. And it's just, I think that really, that had a big thing, is that it's even a lot of the people who supported Trump found out that they can't buy food this month.
Oh, and we also didn't say hello to Heathen Granny. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, well, Trump has already been starting wars. He just can't officially declare them. And at the same time that he is starting wars, he is whining that he's not getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Because Obama got one, so he has to have one.
No, a president we can have an election during war times, and we can switch presidents.
Yeah, we had elections during World War II.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, people have not wanted to do it. So generally it rings true. But I think at this point, the Republicans have, cultivated so much ill will against them. That, working class and low income people are definitely seeing that the Republicans are screwing them over repeatedly. And we have Tori now. Hello. Yeah, I have been wondering what it takes for a national leader to be brought up before the Hague. Because clearly what Trump has been doing with, bombing random boats, definitely qualifies as war crimes. Because he has no evidence at all that anyone on those boats was doing anything illegal.
Not only that, they're lying about the evidence. He took photos from other boats from like years back and tried to present it as evidence of these current situation.
Yeah, the Republicans have been trying to do a lot of that. And they don't seem to be aware how easy it is for people to cross-reference images on the internet. Yeah, the U.S. has condemned those actions. Unfortunately, it is very difficult for the UN to do anything against anyone who is a voting member on their committees. And that's why the UN has not gotten involved with the war in the Ukraine. Because every time it comes up for a vote, Russia says, nah, let's not do that. Yeah, a lot of those small boats, simply did not have the range to get to the U.S. They just simply could not carry enough fuel on board to get here.
Valid question here. A little back and forth conversation, and that came up on that thing I showed about the school teacher. This person tried to ask, Grok, explain to me why MAGA is okay with this. And for some interesting reason, Grok just refused to respond. But we did get a MAGA responding. I'll explain it to you. Don't hire illegal aliens instead of Americans to save a few dollars. MAGA, we voted for this and we'll again in Trump 2028. Okay, well, you're advocating for a violation of the Constitution there, pal, but we'll overlook that for a moment. So I pointed out to she would have to have a working permit, pass background checks to be working there. It's legal under her Illinois rule. It's pointed out how it's uncertain if ICE had warrant to enter the building in the first place. And this is basically overstepping in front of kids, so that's fine with you, huh? So you're okay with that for passing a minor violation? And I ended up with the question of, do you want rule of law for all or just some? Of course, I haven't responded back, but I did get a response here. And how does anyone from somebody else? And how does anyone know she had a valid anything? Every single time it ends up they don't. Also, for the warrant, it's the same thing. Really, it's not like you just show it up out of the blue. Yeah, I could have just shown up out of the blue, or been watching her as she went into the building. They had information on her and went in for her. Yeah, that was probably true. They gave even obligation to provide their information to the public as they left will use, in which they claim they had. This is to Doc. No, it's not to Doc's officers. We should actually know who these people are. But anyway, I responded back. The fact that she's a school teacher would require her that she would have these paperwork and documentation and all that.
Yep. Hey, Molly. Yeah, and they keep claiming that they're not against immigrants. They just want them to do it the right way. And it's like you say, this woman had all the paperwork that she was doing it the right way. She was registered with the government and all this to get all this paperwork. So, according to what they keep saying, she should have been one that they would leave her alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just, and just, I know it's been said over and over, but people, this is the way it started in Germany, 1936, 1937. That's exactly where we are now.
And I'd like to hear exactly how do they explain if it's not just racial profiling and just harassment, and why is it there were at least 15 Navajo Native Americans who were harassed and detained by ICE. That was up until there may be more now. That was from reports, I believe, from back in April. So. Hello? Okay.
Hey, Mom NATO.
Double checking my electricity here is still a little bit flighty, so it might cut out on me midstream. I have no idea when it's going to cut out or not.
Oh. Okay.
So if I disappear, that's what probably happened.
Yeah, I hope it holds up for you.
Unfortunately, the connection from my internet is hooked up to one of the outlets that are going out. It's not the whole house. It's just part of the house. Unfortunately, there's everything, all the outlets outside where I have to connect. The internet goes from this little box thing and connects and plugs in.
Yep.
All those outlets go out. So the only way for me to not have it plugged into an outlet that doesn't go out would be to run an extension cord through a window.
Oh, damn! I wish you weren't so far away. I'd come and sort that stuff out for you.
Yeah, I think some damage happened with the hurricane last year that caused this, and I've been struggling with all year. It's just been getting worse. It already went out 5 times since last night. So.
Yeah, it's probably just a loose connection in one of the boxes where it chains through.
It's on multiple breakers too. So.
Okay, that's a bit of a different story. Multiple breakers, but yeah. Yeah, and ICE has even admitted to racial profiling, and the Supreme Court had said, yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Shithole Supreme Court.
Yep.
Well, we're obviously going to be looking at probably some blue waves in the next few years, along with what we just saw. I'm just hoping that the Democrats follow up and we see some substantial, little substantive progress that they can latch on to and promote. If they don't do that, we're going to just end up seeing another red wave, and we'll be back to what we're dealing with now.
Yep. Yeah, in 2028, we'll get another Republican. That hopefully next year the Democrats can take control of Congress. But if they do that and they don't do something that helps, the average consumer, then in 2028, people are going to give up on the Democrats again and they'll vote Republican.
This is, of course, assuming we have actual fair elections and not just elections in name only. But
yeah, well, we know that the Republicans tried to cheat on a bunch of them this year. They just, the wave of support, or, well, not really support for the Democrats, but, the wave of anti-Republican leaning was just so strong that they just couldn't overwhelm it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably something along the lines of that. The poll, there's some connection issue there.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, Tsunami's got it. Yeah, it's very much, and even the same thing is that unfortunately so many people wind up going back to an abusive partner. Oh, and now we have Jenny with us. Hey, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny. Unless there that runs the apartment building was worried that they'd have to take her toes off.
The Republicans are like dogs. They delight in the master that beats them and starves them.
Well, there was also the concern with Dominion in voting systems being sold to a GOP official. So that puts a majority of the voting booths in the hands of the GOP.
Kinda sucks. I hope it doesn't. They don't get to get the dictatorship they want.
You know what GOP means, right? Greedy, oppressive plague.
Yep.
Also, guardians of pedophiles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that one lady still hasn't been sworn in after months now. I think what was the Arkansas representative?
Yeah. Because
They're
the
probably going to
Democrats
try to. I'm sorry. Lag.
Well, if the Democrats have one more vote, it'll force them to release the Epstein files.
I
So
think
that's
they're
why
going
they
to
don't
try to keep the
prosper her.
government closed as long as possible, just to keep the child predators covered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another one I've been arguing with on the twatters here. Apparently there are actually he's still MAGA who are just completely ignorant or stupid, and not just this because of their racism. They are arguing that this is the Democrats' shutdown because they voted. The Democrats have voted 14 times to keep it closed, ignoring the reason why behind this is Republicans aren't accepting their demand and to extend the ACA so millions of people don't lose their health care. That's the whole big whole crux of why we have the whole thing shut down in the first place.
Well, I've seen enough interviews, that the MAGA people are just ill-informed because people keep asking them, what they think of Obamacare, and that they've got to get rid of Obamacare, and then they ask them what they think of the ACA, and they think the ACA is a much better program.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah, they're both the same program.
Yeah.
Look, I can agree with you. We need something better than the ACA, but ACA versus nothing. Yeah, we'll go with the ACA.
Well, and Trump in an interview just last week was saying that, if the Democrats would just, vote to end the shutdown, that they would immediately work on something that would, fix Obamacare.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's just trying to get the Democrats to lose all leverage they have.
Yeah, well, and that's, Trump has been saying since 2015 that he was going to have a better healthcare program available.
Yeah, and then when he was asked about it again, he has concepts of a plan during this last during the debate with Harris.
Yeah.
So he's had over 10 years to develop a plan, and he says, "I have a concept of a plan."
Yeah, so during his entire run of his first term, he's saying he's going to roll out this thing he's got worked out, and then when he's actually asked this about during the election process, is trying to get in for a second term, and he says he has concepts of a plan. So you're lying.
Yep. Of course, this is something I also had to explain to a friend that I was trying to work on some projects with him. Trying to explain to him the difference between he didn't have a plan, he only had a concept. And until there was an actual plan for me to work from, I could not do the calculations to know what size to cut the pieces for.
Yeah, I mean, Star-Lord had more of a plan than Trump. Guardians of the Galaxy reference. Go watch the movie.
Well, Thanos had a plan.
Yes, even when Thanos thought he was inevitable. Well, look how that turned out for him.
Yep.
I'm just so tired of all of this bullshit. I'm 3,000 miles away from it, and I'm still fucking tired of it.
Yeah. Well, and Canada is going through similar things. That they had their elections, and they are now bickering so much over their national budget that there's a chance it could trigger a recall election. That if they can't get a budget approved under Canada's law, they could have a special election to see if their prime minister gets replaced.
You know, that actually reminds me. I think it was Australia has this. I might not be thinking of the right country though, but they have it where if they have a government shutdown, they can have an election to elect all new people into office.
I was talking with Mippet the other night, and she was talking about how Australia was the only country on the face of the earth whose democracy comes directly from labor unions.
Oh, that's interesting.
That they were basically the ones who brought it about.
Yeah, I've been hearing some things on. I think they do have some right ideas on the whole gun control thing, though. From my hearing some more recent stuff, they seem to be overstepping a little bit with trying to control weapons, such as machete bans. Apparently, a lot of people were going around with machetes and using those as weapons, and so they're trying to ban machetes now, even though it's a tool.
It's still a lot harder to kill someone with a machete than a gun.
Yeah, I think getting to the point where you're trying to ban machetes, you're kind of overstepping on the whole weapons thing, and like I said, I can understand the whole guns thing. That makes sense because how many mass stabbings do you hear about out in all these countries where they have strict gun laws?
Yeah.
Cars also kill a lot of people.
Ned is totally awesome.
Yeah, that Australia does still have a big problem with the xenophobia and racism, and you would think down there are enough things trying to kill them that they could team up against.
Yeah, really.
The only thing that can get them on board with each other is their hatred of Trump. And it's justified.
I think I have a cousin who moved to Australia. Pretty sure she's still there.
Hopefully they let me move here. I have to appeal.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So, Commander, what part of the world are you in now?
Netherlands.
Okay.
Hey, that's a pretty good one.
It's a long swim.
It's long swim. Ned and I are getting hitched. It turns out the dude grows on you. And genuinely do love each other, and it turned out that he's been trying to get me over here since summer of 24, and we finally did it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
Grows on you. Well, I'm sure a good fungicide and clear that right up.
Something like that.
I'm happy for y'all, Commander.
Yes.
Let's just hope I can get all the paperwork before the appeal is denied. We're working on it, but it's like we didn't know we needed this, and they're gonna have fun looking at the Discord.
It is just for the fact they wanted to have proof that you cannot send by mail. I mean, with postage stuff on paper. So now we have to send them via a link or via email or something, and that was the biggest problem.
And then I might need to get an apostille seal on a never married certificate. Commander 401's 43 in a few weeks and never been married. Too busy.
Oh. Whoop. Hello.
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
They all said hi, Talon.
Hi.
Activate your camera, Kenny.
I don't have a camera on this one, Tornado. Yeah.
Hello, Tornado.
They said
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy.
Hi, Mage. Is that
Hello.
Chris?
they're all saying hi. Go on.
Sorry, I'm petting the kitty so he stops playing.
Oh, I got
Petting
my
the kitty takes priority.
Yep, I got my
well,
doggy here sleeping.
he's petting our kitty right now, so
Mhm.
Priorities.
So I hear you have a GoFundMe.
yes. Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
Let me-
We need
Mute
to
the stream.
explain the backstory here.
Okay.
Yeah, I never
So-
got the link for that GoFundMe, so I'll need to get that.
I just created it last night. So you all know that I helped when Diana got really sick. She had to move,
Yeah.
and we all did there was a fundraiser done, and it didn't raise enough money. So I went ahead. My mom had passed away, and I had a life insurance policy that came in. So I paid for the move, and the money that was raised was sent to me to recover most of my costs, but there was still $2,000 that I did not get back and have never gotten back. And I had an auto accident and my car was totaled. So I have had to go out and buy a new car, and the insurance is not going to cover all of the cost of the car. So I have a $7,800 car loan that I'm still paying off. I've already put $8,500 down on it. So there is still $7,000. It was a $16,000 loan. I put $8,500 from my wreck on it. And so now I'm having to make car payments. But the money from Diana, she said she would pay me back, and she never did.
To be clear, it wasn't Diana. It was the community had promised we would reimburse those funds. And, I personally have to take a good chunk of the responsibility for that.
Well, things for you
That
and the rest of them have been really rough. So I wasn't really,
Yeah.
I'd never really asked for it after Diana passed away. It was like, well, if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, it was for a good cause. But now that I've had an auto accident, I mean, nobody was injured in the auto accident, thank God.
That's good.
But my car got totaled out by the insurance company.
Yeah.
So and in order to work to afford the current situation in the US, I have to be able to work, and what I do is delivery driving. So, I have to have a car.
Mm.
But with the car comes a $200 almost car payment every month now. So, and Purple was like, we still got to get that money back to you that you've never gotten back. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just dropped the link for the GoFundMe in the YouTube chat there. So, we're getting it started now. We're planning to do a fundraiser, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. So I have been trying to, gather together people who knew Diana and know Mom NATO
Never mind.
to see
and
what we can
Tornado.
put together. Yep.
I'll be
'Cause-
happy to help with that.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, Tornado Pelt or Tornado in a Junkyard is my son.
Hello.
And he still lives with me. He will probably always live with me. So,
Well, until
um,
she kicks the bucket.
huh?
Until you kick the bucket.
Well, until I kick the bucket. Yes, child. Thank you for that.
Well,
Enthusing love.
Okay, it is reassuring he doesn't plan to live with you after you pass away.
Well, yeah,
I've
that
heard
would
Yes.
be.
stories about that, and that's just wrong.
Yeah.
It gets a little smelly after a while.
Mm-hmm. So, and I wasn't really. I figured, once Diana died, it's it was for a good cause. It wasn't important, but I'm living on less than 24,000 a year. So
Yeah.
a car payment on top of bills, on top of right now, because of what a certain someone is doing, I no longer have food stamps. So that's an extra $300 at least a month that's coming out of the money I earn.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
things are tight.
Yeah,
Things are really tight.
we were talking about the whole food stamps thing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I realize things are tight for everyone, especially with the food stamps this month. I know that a fair chunk of our community relies on that,
Yeah.
but so we don't want anybody to be putting themselves out more than they can afford.
Right.
But if you have some extra you can spare.
Yeah. I hope everybody's doing well and getting through as much as they can. So,
It just occurred to me that one thing that that the internet should have that I know would go over big is, somebody should start like an OnlyFans site, but make it only pause that it's just people posting pictures of their pets.
Oh yes,
Because
Yeah.
there are
You
people.
know that there are pets that people would just pile money.
Yeah, there are people who would pay a monthly subscription for that.
Only Paul sounds like a
Yes.
furry site.
yeah, it does. But
Well, yeah, that too.
yeah. So we now have a tuxedo kitty.
Yay,
Again.
Tuxedo Kitties
Yeah.
for the win.
Yeah, his name is Sylvester. And he is a true tuxedo. He's got the neck ruff that's all white, and his belly's all white, and all four of his paws are white. So he looks exactly like Sylvester the cat, except his nose is black instead of pink.
Okay. But I've got to ask you a question. I've been asking this of everybody who has tuxedo kitties.
Uh-huh.
Do all tuxedo kitties look like they have 3 times as many whiskers as any other type of cat, including ones coming out of their eyebrows?
Yes, because all of his whiskers are white. All of them. And he probably has, let me see if I can get him to hold still the count. Come here, buddy.
Well, and
Hold still, buddy.
I did check. According to Google, all cats have 24 whiskers.
Yeah, hold still.
But when I checked on Sammy's son, I came up with 36.
He's got about 12 on each side of his face, and then he has a couple on the top of his eyes that are black. So he definitely has more than 24 whiskers. Don't you, buddy?
Yeah, it seems to be something about the tuxedo gene that they get extra whiskers with it.
Oh, he's like curled up in my arms now.
Oh,
I'm your baby. Come on. You want to say hi? Nobody will purr.
In cats, the genes that encode the coat color always come from the father.
Yeah,
they're carried on the male chromosome.
Yeah. Well, he's one of these cats that if you hold him the right way, he will roll over onto his back and let you rub his belly all the way up to his chin and all the way up to the front of his mouth. Yes, he loves belly rubs. Till he doesn't.
no, that makes sense for a cat.
Yeah, he's rolled over in my arms right now like, Mom, pet me, pet me. Huh? You're going to hear me thumping his belly. He's got a fat belly. He's a chubby cat. It's like, Mom, don't call me chubby. But he's got
vacuum the cat here.
Well, he's interesting because his eyes are yellow, but right around the black part is a bright ring of bright green. So, yeah. I've never seen a cat with dual colored eyes like his. Oh, do you want water? Okay, give me a minute. I'll get you some more water. Oh, I gotta fill your food bowl too. It's like, Mom. All right.
Our cat here loves the vacuum cleaner.
He doesn't like it. He runs from our vacuum cleaner.
And we can clean him from top to toe with a little suction mouth on it. He really loves it.
I put Molly in her crate before I vacuum the house. She seems to be calmer that way.
Sylvester will just run into a new room and look around the corner while I'm vacuuming. But then again, I only have area rugs in my house. So, yeah.
Yeah, Tasha, a cat I had back in the 90s and the 2000s. Every time I took out the little hand vac, she would come running towards me because she wanted me to vacuum her.
Oh my.
So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, she expected me to vacuum her fur anytime I was doing a little cleanup. And she would lay there and I'd do one side and she'd roll over for me to do the other side.
It's a perfect way to get rid of fleas because mine had some fleas and we just vacuumed it with a.
Yeah.
Never saw one of them again.
That's an interesting way.
Sumami, you're right. Most people do rely on those food stamps to eat. I actually, when I started working, I lost about $120 out of my food stamps because they're like, well, you're making too much money. Yeah, but I'm working to cover what food stamps aren't covering. But you make too much money. So it's a lose situation. They want you to encourage you to work, but once you start working, they take away the necessities that you need to continue to work.
Yeah,
because
well, and especially if you are needing to, be a caretaker for someone else in your home.
Yeah,
it doesn't pay. If you need to get help for someone else to take care of them.
Yeah,
it doesn't pay for you to go to work.
Right.
The system is not designed to actually get people off the system.
Right.
Yeah, you can't climb out of poverty. You have to leap out of poverty.
Yes.
Yes, I do agree with you there. UBI.
And you
When
know, I could work more and earn more money, but then comes the issues of having to pay for gas for the car and oil changes for the car and maintenance for the car on top of what I'm already doing, because it's what, $40 a tank of gas now. So in order to work more, I have to have more money for gas. In order to have more money for gas, I have to work more. So, you know, if I work really hard and get a lot of good delivery options, I could make a lot of money, but then I'm paying out at least $100 of that in gas for a week.
Yeah, well, you know, gas and just maintenance and upkeep on the vehicle. You know, it's something a lot of people don't think about, that, you know, if people are doing, you know, like DoorDash or Uber, you know, a lot of people don't figure out the expenses on their vehicle and realize that they're not really making as much money as they think they are.
Right. So we're getting about $200 a week. And if you calculate oil changes and gas, so that's about $800 a month. But I'm spending out $30 a week at least in gas. Make it, if I empty my gas tank and have to get more gas in the middle of it because I've had a lot of deliveries, that's $60 for gas a week.
Yep.
And then the oil changes, because I'm putting the mileage on my car. Of course, most people know if you have a car, it's 3,000 miles or every 3 months. So there's another $70 every 2 months, because I can, if I'm doing a lot of deliveries, then I'm putting at least 150 miles a week on my car. At least.
Well, one thing that I will say is that there are variables involved, but that thing of every 3,000 miles or 3 months is really a marketing thing that was brought up by these, you know,
you can
do more.
Yeah. Well, you can do up to 5,000 miles, but after 5,000 miles, you really should change it, because it starts to get a lot harder on your car.
Well, any car can do at least 5,000.
Yeah.
With the full synthetic oils, most cars can do up to 10,000.
Yeah, but I don't like to push it that far. It makes me nervous.
I'm just saying, you know, that it does make a difference. And, you know, this is stuff I've gotten. My brother is a certified master mechanic, and this is what he's telling me.
Yeah.
You know, so this isn't just off the fly or something I read on the internet. This is directly from the master mechanic.
So, but, and you know, so
Ned was talking about how hearing this is so weird to him, because here, very rarely do you have people with 2 jobs.
And if you would do deliveries for a company, you get a delivery van. You don't never have to bring your own van or your own car.
What I'm doing is delivery driving for Walmart, which means the way Walmart is handling the new online orders that you're getting is they are hiring independent contractors, as they call them. And those people drive their own cars.
They're a bunch of
too
cheap bastards.
Yeah.
We have big supermarket chains here in the Netherlands also. And all the delivery is done by the shops themselves, and they all pay their personnel decent wages where they can live off, and they make still giant profits. Why can't that be in the United States? And I can tell you what greedy, oppressive perverts are at the helm.
That's why corporations in the U.S. love to hire independent contractors, you know, and make it sound like this is giving such freedom to the employees. But the reason
Right.
they're doing it is it means they don't have to pay benefits
Mm-hmm.
and they have no liability if you screw something up or if you get in an accident.
Right.
Hey, but
So-
if you hire an independent contractor here, it is way more expensive than having it done
Right.
by
Yep.
the company
Well,
itself.
I can give you an example. So if I do a set of deliveries, what they call them an order, a batched order if there's more than one drop-off point. So normally, if you're delivering groceries, you get 3 drop-off points and you get between, let's say, 10 if they're close by and $23. Okay, depending upon the distance you travel, because all they're paying you for is mileage, really.
Mhm.
So, but if I get a big batched order, which is like 7 or more drop-off points, I can get up to $60.
Yeah.
But it takes 3 hours to do.
But wouldn't you like to have a job that offers
It's
a
not
company van and just gives you a living wage?
America's not like that.
Yeah,
No, it's
they're
absolutely
not. America is all about capitalism, making the big bucks, and the people who are at the bottom make very little.
It
Yep.
is absolutely
with-
crying fucking shame that
Mhm.
people in such a rich country are starving and
Mhm.
are so poor
Yeah.
that they can't even afford
Well,
a house.
even with my job and with TC's benefits because he's autistic and disabled mentally, you know, I still make under 23,000 a year. Or I make just at 23,000 a year. So that is still below the poverty line.
That's
Shall I
hard.
tell you something? I used to make the same money here in euros, and I
Mhm.
have my own house. I have a car. I have 2 motorcycles
Mhm.
from the same amount a year.
Is rent is
People-
about 250 euros a month.
That is not rent.
It's a mortgage.
It's a
but
mortgage. And
You see,
the-
I don't have that. I own my own home,
yeah.
but it was
I
given
mean-
to me
I
by
mean,
my
it is
mother.
possible. It is possible. You don't need to make like 80,000 a year of 100,000 a year to have a decent living. You can do it because
You
everything
can.
is cheaper here and everything is protected here. For
Right,
I hope
but
they
that's
don't
not the way
send
it
me
is
back
here.
'cause I'm not going.
You know,
Everything
it's
is protected.
not
Our
that
rent
way
is
here.
Rent is protected. If your house has they have a point system. If your house has different luxuries, that's the price you pay for it. Doesn't it have it? It is absolutely not allowed to pay to ask more rent than what it's worth, and
Mhm.
that is in the United States. You can't even be fired by that like that in here in the Netherlands. They have to go through procedures. In America, they can say, "Hey, you're fired because I gave your job to my nephew." And
Yeah.
that is absolutely impossible here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And-
what happens when you don't argue about pointing at each other's crotches and you argue in politics about normal things like quality of life. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
I didn't mean to have you run over, and I am very sympathetic
Yeah,
to.
I'm very sympathetic. I wish I could help you, but this
Oh,
is
I know.
in a country so immensely rich that they're talking about trillions that they can't
Mhm.
even, or they refuse to have a social system that will keep
Right.
people from poverty. We are a small
Yep.
country.
Yeah.
People can't even find it when you have a big globe. My country is not bigger than the nail of your thumb. We have
Yep.
17 million people. And
Yep.
I think per capita, we are richer than the United
Right.
States.
Well, to
Mhm.
give you an idea of how many people have lost their food stamps, for those of you who have not been paying attention, it is at least 40 million Americans. And a certain someone, and we can't mention names, is refusing to do it until the government reopens.
Well,
We can mention names.
Nice name for him. I call
And-
him Dumb Bald Droomp.
what that
Mhm.
works out to is somewhere between 1 in 7 and 1 in 8 Americans
Mhm.
qualify for food stamps.
Right.
You know, and the qualification for food stamps is generally these are people who are living on less than twice what they consider the U.S. poverty level.
Right. And what you also have to keep in mind is that the person who has shut down food stamps is claiming, oh, well, all these illegal people are getting food stamps. The problem is, in order to get food stamps, you have to have a social security number.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing on the whole thing. That's actually raised a good point. Right. They're not trying to do it. It's for illegal. Well, no, as you mentioned, you need the social security number. There are mixed families where you might have undocumented immigrants
Mhm.
and exploiting it within that kind of situation.
Right.
But that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
They've also tried to argue that the whole shutdown they're trying to get healthcare for illegal immigrants, and so they say
Okay.
no, the ACA already has provisions that prevents federal
Yeah.
aid to be used for undocumented immigrants,
Yeah.
so that's bullshit.
Yep. And so I pay for healthcare online through the ACA program. I have to have a social security number. I have to have my taxes every year, which means I have to be a citizen.
Mhm.
And if I don't pay my taxes every year, I lose it. And I have to have a social security number for anybody else who's on my health plan in order for them to qualify for the tax break.
Yep.
So since TC is disabled, he automatically gets Medicaid. So he's not on my insurance. It's just me. So every year I have to file a tax return. I have to file a 1099 form because I'm independent contractor, and I have to also pay file an 8652, I think it is, which is the health worksheet that you have to have that tells you your benefits. If you're an illegal immigrant, you can't get these. So what he's claiming is a lie.
Yeah.
It's a flat out lie.
Yeah, the whole thing where they're trying to argue that they're trying to get healthcare for illegals comes from that the big bullshit bill has something mentioning about restricting undocumented immigrants from getting health services.
Yes, undocumented people. We should say that because they're not all immigrants.
Yeah.
But what is happening? See, I have someone online, a friend who was a police officer, and right before he retired, he had to deal with an ICE raid. Okay, now one of the people they took into custody was a friend of his. That person has a green card, but he keeps his green card at home so he doesn't lose it. He was taken in front of his 9-year-old child because he didn't have his green card on him. And they would not allow him to say, well, my green card is here at home. We can get it. They're like, no. So, they're taking these people off the street without due process. They're shipping them to another country. Okay.
When I was driving trucks, I carried my passport around with me, and I actually right now look significantly different than my passport photo because of the HRT. And actually, I'm afraid to go back because, I look different, and I know I'm gonna get shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Exploitation of food stamps is basically you go out and somebody buys you something that you can't get with food stamps. Like, let's say they buy you a new pair of shoes, okay? And then you turn around and buy them food and give it to them instead of paying cash. That's an exploitation of food stamps. Or you trade your food stamp card to somebody to let them use for food, and they give you something expensive.
Yeah, there's also been issues of people stealing the cards or skimming them.
Or trading food stamps for drugs. Yes. It used to be food stamps was an actual bill.
Yeah,
They
it
would give
used
you
to be
colored
paper coupons.
bills, paper bonds, and people would trade them to other people for drugs, alcohol, that kind of thing. So now they are on a card, just like a credit card. So, yeah.
Not on me anymore.
Tell me something.
Yeah, but with the EBT cards, even if somebody steals a card, they still need a PIN
PIN.
number for it.
Yep.
So if they don't get a PIN number, the card is useless.
Right. And I understand what you're talking about, Sumami. I used to work in Walmart as a cashier. Ooh, excuse me. And we had this one lady one time come up with 4 entirely full carts of food. And I'm talking, they were filled to overflowing, grocery carts. And I was like, oh my goodness, how many do you have in your family? And she's like, I have 14 kids. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Apparently, my grandmother would do that with her 7 kids.
Right. But she was getting, you get a certain amount of money per person in your household. I think it's like $200 per person. So she was getting, if she had 14 kids, she was getting over $3,000 in food stamps.
Yeah, it varies a lot,
Per
state to
state.
state.
Yeah, I think there are some states that have a cap on how much you can get overall too.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me and Tornado, I get $236 for the 2 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm working.
Yep.
Even when I wasn't working, it was only $336. And that would feed us in current prices for maybe 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And now without food stamps, so you're figuring it costs about $600 a month to feed us if we want to have a healthy amount of food in the house.
Yep.
So all of that most of that $800 that I get per month is going to feed us now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But
Yeah.
I'd estimate it for myself maybe between $300 to $400 a month just for myself.
Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't, but it depends upon if you're buying in bulk. Yeah. Sometimes buying in bulk is cheaper than buying small stuff.
Well,
yeah.
It does help, like if you can buy a 25-pound bag of rice instead of just buying the 2-pound bags of rice. Yeah, the cost per unit breaks down really nice then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are cost-cutting methods that you can use, but with everything going up, it becomes harder and harder.
Yeah, I think Tsunami's got about right. What most people get for food stamps is usually enough to cover about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
And that's if you're buying off-brand stuff. Yep.
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 Yeah, and I was again back in 2000. I got some lip from one of the cashiers about, because I was buying with food stamps, about why don't you get a job? And it's like, well, yeah, I was working full time, but I was also taking care of 5 kids, none of whom were mine, but I had to feed them.
Right.
Because none of their fathers even bothered to show up more than twice a year.
Yep. And I've been a single parent for Tornado since he was 3. And anybody who's dealt with special needs children know that it's hard to hold down a job as a single parent.
Yep.
plus pay. Not only do you have to take care of your job, you have to come home, do all of the housework, all of the necessary things to keep up the home, plus take care of the kid. And if your child is like Tornado, he starts having difficulties in school, so you're getting called out of work to deal with that. Plus you have to deal with doctor's appointments, medical appointments, social worker appointments, you know, and then have time to shop after work. And it's almost impossible to keep up with all of that and a job. It got to the point with Tornado that he was causing issues that could have had him put in juvenile detention, because I was seeing him, I counted it up, in a month, I was seeing my child 17 hours a month.
Not even a full day.
Not even a full day, because he would be at school and I would be working. When I came home, he was in bed. And the only times I got to see him was in the mornings before he left for school. And then on my days off, I would spend most of my days sleeping, trying to catch up with the sleep I was losing, taking care of him and holding a job. So it's...
Yeah, you hear how lazy these people on food stamps are. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, even now, I mean, thankfully Tornado's old enough, he goes out with me when I work. So he helps navigate where I'm going to drop off stuff. And if there's a big like 40-pound bottles of water.
Yep.
Yeah. Helps with delivery.
You know, he lifts
right.
it.
Those 5-gallon jugs would be about 45 pounds each.
Yeah. So, you know, he lifts the heavy stuff because of my back. I can't always carry it. And it helps when he's helping me drop stuff off. It makes it so that I'm not as tired, so that I can do more hours in a day.
That's good.
So, I mean, it helps. And plus it makes sure that he's not sitting at home alone going and calling me every 20 minutes going, Mom, when are you going to be home? I miss you, Mom. Come home. What am I going to have for dinner, Mom?
Nowadays, it's when are we going to be home, Mom? I'm going to miss my stream.
Well, you know, obviously the solution to all this is that we should just eat cake.
Oh, yes.
Or my show's on, Mom. We got to get home.
Yeah, but Mage, I've got a feeling that they won't make cakes for us trans people.
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
And while all this is going on, we have Trump bragging about to remodeling the Lincoln bathroom and his bullshit ballroom, which apparently doesn't even have actual blueprints.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten any approval like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And
that's the whole for major remodelings. You need to get that approved through Congress, which he has not done, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff he's not done that are required.
Yeah, he was required to submit blueprints to Congress before any work began, such as demolition.
Oh, and the thing about Trump right now?
Look what he did to the Rose Garden. It looks like Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, it's that's not even the half of it. The judges are basically telling him, "See you in jail."
Yeah, his recent tweet about he's not going to give anybody food stamps until the government reopens. The judges have said, "Okay, we'll see you in jail."
Yeah, we were mentioning that.
He shot his big mouth off.
Yep, there are funds that are meant to go to food stamps in a situation of a shutdown or a disaster, or they try to
give them.
Yeah, and the Department of Agriculture, whoever's running that right now, actually tried to remove the part about it being about also being used for a shutdown.
Well, and we had a shutdown during Trump's first term in office.
Mm-hmm. And we still got food
continued
stamps
without a burp.
Yep. Yeah, well, that previous shutdown was actually the longest shutdown we've had in history. This one is looking to be the longest now. So he's been under
If I'm correct,
both
don't
the.
you need a social security number to get food stamps?
Yes, you have
Yes.
to have a social
Yep.
security number. Yes.
So you'd have to have.
So the
so
person
he's-
who's saying, one of the people who I saw on the internet on Fox News said, "Good, if Trump shuts down food stamps, all those undocumented people won't get all those food benefits, and so they'll leave the country."
Right.
Yeah,
The problem
lying
is
about
the
that.
only person who only people who can get food stamps are those that are on the Social Security system.
And you need to be a citizen.
And you need to be a citizen to have
So,
it.
in other words,
And yes, there are people of mixed families who have their families getting food stamps, but again, they have to provide a identification number for those kids. And
Yeah,
all of them have to have an identification number.
They have to prove that everyone that they're claiming benefits for,
the
has
crazy thing
proper
is that
paperwork to
basically
be
the
here.
person is saying
Right.
All the people who have
Right, that's the point. Nobody who is undocumented can be on the food stamp system. Nobody.
Mhm.
Everybody who comes into the United States legally has a documentation number, whether it be a visa, a green card, a work visa, anything, and they're getting food stamps, they have an identification number.
And that also raises another.
So, in
wait.
other words, that person is basically saying every person who has food stamps needs to get out of our country.
Right, which is all the legal people.
Yep.
Yeah, and that also raises another point. A lot of these people who are undocumented came here legally on visas, or they crossed the border and they tried to or they asked for asylum. So between those
Right.
two, that makes them up the majority of those who are undocumented.
Yep. What they're calling illegal immigrants are people who are, they're crossing the border, but they have to go, unless they're sneaking in through a gap, which they've made it almost impossible to get through. The fact that they're claiming the people on food stamps are mostly illegals is inaccurate.
It's bullshit.
It is. It's very much bullshit. It's very much a lie. And
yeah, but
Trump is causing all of the problems. He really is.
But the people who only watch Fox News get a very different slant on all of it.
Yeah. Well, Fox News is starting to turn against Trump.
Well, of course, because he's losing popularity.
Oh,
Fox News just wants to be where the biggest audience is. So while Trump was on the rise, they were with Trump.
Yeah, I think Trump's approval rating is only 37 now.
Yeah, well, and see, this is the funny thing is that, what Trump wanted from everybody is like to sign oaths of loyalty. And people were only loyal to Trump when he has money and power. If it looks like he's losing his power and money, then nobody cares about him.
Right.
I seem to be getting a number of reposts on your GoFundMe. They might be bots, though.
I will go look.
On Twitter here.
In the Twitter?
Yeah, on the Twitters, on Twatters.
Let me see.
I'm just kind of looking at my notifications. I'm seeing a number of people reposting. I posted a link on my thing. So, hey, even if it's just bots, at least it's giving you good traction.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not seeing any of those in my notifications.
I've already got 200 on there. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it.
Okay, I have learned in the past that a lot of people would, prefer to just be anonymous and not be announced. So
yeah,
I don't announce them on the streams unless they say they want to be.
Yeah, but it's this whole situation with the government is just, it sucks. And I am definitely one of those people who did not vote for Trump. I would never vote for him based on his misogynistic tendencies and his narcissism. So there is a rumor, it is a rumor, I haven't confirmed it yet, that certain generals and retired generals that have been forced to retire are going before Congress and going for Amendment 25, Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution. And for those that don't know, that is where they are saying, we, the people of the United States, demand the removal of the president and his cabinet.
Yep.
And that is one thing I think we should all start a petition demanding the removal of Trump under our constitutional rights, because he is clearly not good for our country.
Yeah. Well, and he has clearly been doing things that were beyond the powers of his office.
And he's pushing to have the filibuster removed, by the way, for those who don't know.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The Republicans won't do it because they know they'll regret it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But, you know, Trump has been doing things that only Congress has the power to do.
Yep. Shooting those, blowing up those boats.
Yeah.
There's been a demand that Hague bring charges of crimes against humanity against Trump.
That's what I was wondering about, is what it would actually take for that to happen.
Well, they're asking for it now.
They need to.
Violating the Constitution.
Every one of them needs to stand trial. No going back to Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
There needs to be some kind of commission like the Nuremberg, because they've killed thousands of Americans.
Yes, they have.
Estimate 50,000 Americans just with the big, beautiful bill, not to mention people that are blowing up in international waters, and the upwards of 14 million estimated by the time it's done, who will starve to death because of the demolishing of USAID.
Yep.
And it is not only Trump, it is also his staff and also his cronies under it.
Yep.
It is just like with Hitler. Hitler wasn't there anymore, but all his servants who said, Befehl is Befehl, it is bullshit. They all have to stand trial, not just to lose their position. They all have to stand trial. And there probably need to be executions to make an example.
Yeah, and the "I was only following orders" is not going to fly.
Nope. Absolutely not. And that's exactly what they will do. And these people, these sociopaths that put a mask for and become ICE agent, they need to get the same treatment as the concentration camp guards of Germany got.
Yep.
And that is, some of them got life in prison. They rotted to death and they died in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something like, oh, you were just doing your job. No, you were not doing your job. You could have said no, and then you could have quit because you can always quit, and that they don't do because they don't like it and they are a bunch of sociopaths. There is nothing normal about that.
Maybe that's why Trump's getting all chummy with Argentina now, is because you know they hid a lot of the Nazi generals after World War II, so the Hague couldn't get them.
And right now, there's no official move to have crimes against humanity charges brought against Donald Trump. But if this continues, and when people start dying because they can't feed themselves, you know, that is a crime against humanity, because Trump has more than enough power to get the food stamps.
Well, but also the stuff that ICE is doing.
Yes.
They need to be trialed for murder.
They do. They do.
Plain murder, not
they do.
Mass murder, genocide, but not crimes against humanity. That word has already sailed, and it isn't working. They are
he needs to have charges brought against him for murder, assault, You know, there's all kinds of things that he should be
Yeah, but
having
also-
charges
also
brought
his-
against him.
His administration, like
Yes,
what
his-
kind of idiot? Well, is putting a guy from television, a talk show host or whatever, in charge of the military. That is
Yeah.
totally idiotic.
That's totally stupid. The guy has no clue on how to run the military.
Well, and he has put an anti-vaxxer.
That guy is.
Yeah. He's put an
He has
anti-vaxxer
put an
in charge of
anti-vaxxer in charge of the national health.
health. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
His administration is
And they're
qualified.
thinking,
None
and
of
he's
them.
thinking of ending vaccine mandates.
Yeah, they're thinking of ending the vaccine mandates, which are what kept us safe during COVID-19.
Yep, they
And-
already did that in Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Sumami
That's-
says I like a fiery Ned. I
He's
just want to
great.
make sure Ned heard that.
So, welcome to Portfolio.
Tsunami says she likes fiery Ned.
Yeah.
Can be more fiery.
So, like I was saying, so what part of Make America Great Again includes driving people to loot for food?
Yeah,
There's
I
already
did not
the
hear about
starts
the
of that.
looting yet.
Oh yeah, it's already started.
Yeah,
The
I'm not
people
too
in
surprised.
Chicago, the guy who lives in Chicago who had to deal with the ICE raid, he will not let his mother go out to the store alone anymore because people are already starting to loot.
That's the reason
They're
why he's
attacking
doing-
people who
Mhm.
are single mothers, single women that are coming out of grocery stores. They're attacking them and
Oh.
stealing their carts of food.
Yes, be very careful going grocery store. Do not do grocery store at night.
No.
Go while it's crowded. I know it's
Yeah.
They're
rough.
creating,
Go while
they're
it's
creating
light
food
out.
insecurity to make the crime rate rise. It's because it's you can go without shiny
Ezekiel's mother.
stuff, but not food.
He won't let her go grocery shopping by herself anymore
Let me tell you one
because
thing.
people have been being
Yeah.
attacked in Chicago.
By ICE?
No,
You know what is going
by
on?
people who are don't have food stamps. They're attacking single women, especially that are coming out of grocery stores and stealing their food, or attacking them while they're going to their car and taking all of their grocery bags out of their car.
That's what Donald Trump has done.
Yes.
Yep.
They want the images of that so that they can send more troops in.
Yes.
They do it themselves.
They're doing it. Yeah, they're
and
doing
like
this
double
to
check.
try and say that
Huge
America
other
is
part
not
of what
safe.
you're doing. And they're
It
doing
isn't
that.
safe.
They're doing it
Mhm.
all the time.
Yep.
And I can tell you, the World War II started like this. Germany had their eye on a small stretch of land called Sudetenland. And they just took it.
Mhm.
And then they thought, hey, this is easy. Then they, Austria, well, that was easy. And then they got Poland. Yeah, then they got a bit of resistance. I have the idea that the Sudetenland for Trump is Greenland.
Mhm.
then
Venezuela.
Oh God.
We're
Then they're
going-
going to get on Canada or start invading Mexico. And what is happening? What is in the news now? Military. they want to
Venezuela,
bring military
Cuba,
to Mexico.
Mexico, Greenland, Canada.
Well,
Mhm.
you know,
This guy is insane.
He
yeah,
is.
it took a bunch of people to talk Trump out of the idea of just lobbing missiles into Mexico.
Oh God.
You know, he was all ready to do that.
Yeah.
And that was in his first term when there were actually some sane people around him.
Yeah.
You know, who would make a better president than Trump?
A literal lump of shit.
Mickey Mouse.
Have you ever heard of President Benson
Mm-mm.
from Hot Shots? And that was an idiot. From the movie Hot Shots, you know that with
Oh
that-
yeah.
President Benson. First, he started as Admiral Benson of the USS SSS, And then in Hot Shots Part 2, he was President Benson, and he was even dumber than Trump, but he did better than Trump because Trump is an imbecile. I'm not saying that I'm that smart, but he is saying he is smart. I think my cat is smarter than Trump.
Well, let's face it, President Camacho did a better job.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Idiocracy.
Oh, yeah, Idiocracy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah, we've watched tons and tons and tons and tons of movies.
Yeah, because I have tons and tons and tons of movies on hard drives and and I have an enormous television, and now I finally have someone to watch them with.
He's so happy to have someone to keep him company and just spend time with.
Just to watch movies.
Okay, 1984 was not supposed to be a how-to, and Idiocracy was not supposed to be a documentary.
Yeah.
But it is for Trump. And I have always said that no one who is a reality star on TV should be the president of the country, because all they know is reality TV. The reality TV is just a play. It's not even real. It's they set the shit up to go a certain way to entertain. And okay, yes, Schwarzenegger was okay as a governor. I don't know much about his governing of California, but they didn't riot against him.
Okay,
so
but
he had to be okay.
well,
Or at least have common sense.
No, Schwarzenegger was balanced out because his wife was a Democrat.
Right.
You know,
Maria
so I'm
Shriver.
sure they had a lot of discussions at home about some of
Right.
the policies he considered.
Right. But, under Trump's policies, his wife should be considered an illegal immigrant.
There has actually been a thing trending
Mhm.
about deport Melania.
Yeah. Because she doesn't have a green card. She
But would
hasn't
it help?
immigrated.
Well, okay.
But
Would it help?
Donald Trump probably
No.
would not care at this point about Melania getting deported,
Yeah. Mhm.
but her son Barron would go with her.
Yep.
And Trump sees Barron as being his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, there is a book that's named Little Baron Trump.
Oh yeah, connected to the last president. The movie, not movie, book, The Last President. And interestingly enough, the place where the guy set up shop, that's the address at Trump Tower, and it was written by Ingerson Lockwood over 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, has anyone seen this movie Bob Roberts? I don't know exactly what it was, but it was about a governor or something who was a right winger and also a country singer, and he got shot. And later in the movie, he was shot. He was in a wheelchair, and later in the movie, you see him playing, and you see his feet stamping the rhythm. And that is why I think had Trump watched Bob Roberts, the movie, and then just made up, hey, if you put a sachet of ketchup in your hand and slam it at your face as soon as you hear a shot, then we do not then we act like there was an assassination attempt. That is what it was.
Yeah.
Mm.
I still.
He smashed his hand to his ear. And
Yeah.
then the bullet was, and it was in places that it even shouldn't be. But people in America, no. I mean,
I have my doubts about the assassination attempt.
This assassination attempt was absolutely fake. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
Because I seen pictures later of people who actually have a bullet grazed their ear.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump's ear is perfect. There is nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Well,
barely,
it
barely
healed
grazed
after
him.
just 2 days
It
when
didn't
he
even
forgot to
graze
put the
him.
bandage
It
back
was
on.
making- You could see that.
He definitely overdid it with the bandage, trying to play up for some.
Yeah, but
I'm not so sure that the assassination attempt itself was is fake scenes. We do know that somebody did get killed at that attempt, and I doubt Trump would be standing around and in the way of a bullet, even if it's intended to go past him. I don't think he would
But
take that
he
chance.
overreacted to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
really did.
overreacted to it.
And
Well,
I
and
don't.
then he
I
played
think
up the
I
huge-
think it was all set up.
Yeah. Well,
It was
Trump
all
played up
set
this
up,
huge
and the life
story.
of his kid, who was named as the assassin. He
Mhm.
was just how do you call it? A patsy, collateral damage. There was
Yeah.
there hasn't been a bullet in 100 meters of him. He just slapped a paper bag with ketchup to his ears, and then they rescued him, make sure that the camera looks good to that blood. Now, I believe blood does not look that bright red as ketchup does.
It can look that way.
It
can
depends
look
upon
that
the
way.
health of the
It can look
person.
that way.
Yes, it can.
But then, if the bullet struck him from the front to his ear, why was it in the front of his face? Because he slapped a section of ketchup or whatever fake blood.
Well,
against
it was on. He smeared it over his face. Reason why?
Yeah,
Then-
yeah,
Yeah.
but he,
No,
he
that's no. I
wasn't
mean,
shocked. He
no, I
wasn't
don't.
shocked.
I do think that this managed to skim his ear, but just very slightly.
No, not even.
Uh,
An assassin, you know where an assassin shoots people? In the
Okay.
torso, because that's a bigger target.
Okay,
An assassin never shoots at the head.
we're gonna have a lot of disagreement on this, so let's move on to another topic here.
Okay.
But it is just fake. And that is why.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We
So
had done enough.
We're moving on.
We had done
yeah,
enough.
I got a quick question for Mom NATO.
Yes.
Do you are you on either Twitter or Blue Sky?
I do have a Twitter account, yes.
Okay.
But I don't normally go on to Twitter often. Let me see. Twitter. I have to log back in. It's been a while.
I can get the link for it if you want me to put that up.
Continue. See.
Is it Mom
It's
NATO
been a while.
one?
I believe that's it.
Well, like I say, I can pull the link from our
Yeah.
interactions on Twitter.
Yeah, it should be Mom NATO 1. It's been a while.
Yep. Okay, just wondering because I'm about to put a post about it
Yeah.
on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Yeah,
so-
Mom NATO at Mom NATO 1. Yep, that would be me. It's been a while.
But I'm sorry about the rant, but I just had it good to get it off my chest.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, for those people who have been joining us recently, the link that's running across on the scroll is that Mom NATO had put up the money for Diana, the Lavender Lady, to move, and she was never reimbursed for about $2,000 of that.
Yeah.
And now her car has been totaled, so she really needs to get that money back and some extra help.
There's a link again in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, anyone who can. I know things are being tight for everyone now, but
Oh,
if
yeah.
you have some extra to spare.
It would be greatly appreciated.
But, it is $2,000 that the community promised that we would reimburse her for, and that was over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just like I say, I take a lot of the personal responsibility for that because I was supposed to be, working to organize that before. And it's just like, it seemed every month something else was going on and it just kept
Yeah.
being put off and put off.
Yeah. And I didn't mind, that. I never complained about it, but
No, you never said a word about it, but I have really felt bad that it has gone so long without it being addressed.
I don't blame you. You had a lot of shit going on in your own life, moving yourself and you and Sloth Girl.
Well, I
and
wasn't
then-
moving during that time, but
Well-
a big thing was that when right around when Diane died, that we lost 3 people in the community in 5
Right.
weeks.
Yeah.
You lost
You know,
Sloth Girl, you lost
Yeah, and Sloth Girl was my main support. She was really the only
Yes.
person that I talked to on a daily basis.
Right.
So we lost
So,
what,
yeah,
Vonrek,
that-
Sloth Girl, and
Glober Mom.
Lavender. Oh, that's 4. So we had 4 of them.
Yeah, well, Glober Mom was a bit later then, but yeah.
But still, it's the last
Yeah,
2
well, that's
years
what I
we've
mean.
lost
Yeah, there
many
was just-
people.
Yeah, we didn't go a full month that there wasn't something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost died that year too.
Mm. That's
Yeah,
a scary
let's
thought.
try to put that off for a couple more decades.
Yes.
Let's make that a general rule. Okay.
Well,
can
and
everybody-
then
Everyone
everybody
agrees
agree?
not to die for at least 3 decades.
Yeah,
Well, we're
everybody
trying-
will agree to not die for the next 3 decades.
well, and
That's good.
then this last year, for Floridians, we had Hurricane Helene.
Yep.
And this is something nobody in the community knows is I had a 60-foot oak tree fall on my house.
Oh no.
Yes. So I did get help from FEMA, thankfully. I got enough money from FEMA, but I had $10,000 of damage were done to my home.
Yeah.
So thankfully we had evacuated, and the only thing that was damaged was the roof and the ceilings in 2 of in 2 of the rooms in my house. But you also had wiring damage, and I had to replace my refrigerator and everything
Yeah.
else. So it took
Well, that's what I was wondering
$10,000
about
to
then. Yeah,
yeah.
with water getting in, how many of your
Yes.
possessions got ruined?
Actually, thankfully, where it hit, I had a couple of books damaged because there's a bookcase. It did 120 feet of damage, square feet of damage in my bedroom. Thankfully, nothing got irreplaceably damaged aside from a couple of books. All of my electronic items were not in the area where it was damaged or were out of the way in those areas. So we had one wire that got pulled out of the boxes that link into different rooms. But we had the power off. I had actually we had left the power on, but I had actually come back about, a day before the hurricane's storm force winds hit and turned off all of the power. So we got really lucky because that wiring was dangling straight down from the ceiling right next to all my books. And
Ooh.
the sparks would have lit the books on fire
Yeah.
if I hadn't turned them out, turned it off. So we got lucky. We got very lucky. The neighbors directly across the street had 3.5 feet of water in their home. We had
Oh.
about 2 to 3 inches in my laundry room because my house is on a rise. And yeah, so we didn't have any actual flooding. But then again, she had 5 people in her home and they stayed during the hurricane and were flushing their toilets.
Oh.
So most of the water that was in their home was sewer water,
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
sewage. Yeah.
Lovely.
So yeah.
I had dealt with that growing up. We had a regular thing of these sewers backing up into our basement.
Yeah. So this year, last year, it's all the year before. It's all been just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just total disaster. I'll have to show you the pictures that I have posted on Discord of the damage in the tree that fell on my house. So it took almost a month to get back in my home. We lived in a shelter and a hotel for most of October. After it's from like September 24th, I think was when it hit. September 25th.
Yeah, why didn't you tell us about that then?
Well, because I was in a shelter and I had we were so busy trying to get things done, plus I was dealing with FEMA and, when you're in a crisis like that, the first couple of weeks, you don't really have the mental capacity to process.
I get it.
And by the time that I could process fully, we had already gotten the help from FEMA. We'd already gotten the money. So it was just a matter of getting the house repaired enough to move back in.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually need the help from you guys who were dealing with other shit because I had the help from FEMA. And I actually had less damage than most of the people in my community. My entire city flooded. Crystal River, there are still people in Crystal River that are still rebuilding.
Yeah, well,
even
I've
a
heard
year
the
later.
construction has been very slow.
Yes.
And that a lot of that has also been because of the fact that with the ice raids and everything, that they cannot get the migrant workers who made up a lot of the construction crews.
Yeah, we were still repairing from even the previous hurricane that came through.
Yeah, that's right. You're in Florida too.
Yeah,
I
got hit by this stuff. I'm down around in the Sarasota County area.
Right, so you got hit by Milton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. We got lucky enough. What most people don't understand is you had Hurricane Helene come in and do all this flooding damage. And because it didn't actually hit us, it was all storm surge that hit the West Coast and partially inland. But then you had Milton go across St. Petersburg, up across the east coast of Florida, curves over, hits South Carolina and all that shit. People don't understand. That's billions of dollars of damage done to just Florida.
Yeah, that one went basically right over my head.
Yeah, St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay, all those areas were they were inundated with 10 to 12 feet of water from storm surge on top of rain. And the devastation that a hurricane causes is frightening. Everybody thinks of Katrina, but Florida experiences hurricanes every year.
Yeah, we got lucky this year.
Oh, shh! Do not curse us. Hurricane season is not over yet.
Floridian. I know it well. It was 2005, and every fucking week we had to prepare for a new storm. And Wilma got my house, and we left with an insurance settlement. But it's exhausting.
Well, and I've tried to get homeowners insurance. They want $10,000 a year to insure my home.
Yep. Yeah, and several major insurance companies stopped issuing homeowners policies in Florida.
Yes.
Because they had to pay out so much for the hurricanes that they just refused to do it anymore.
And what people who don't live in Florida don't think about, we're not paying for the hurricanes that hit us. We're paying for the hurricanes like Hurricane Ian, now Hurricane Milton. We're paying for the hurricanes that hit other people because there's not enough people in Florida paying homeowners insurance because they can't fucking afford it.
Yep. Okay, can we check in with Sinister Porpoise here?
Hey, I was listening to someone rant about hurricanes because I'm just glad we don't get them here.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning on hopefully this coming year, I'm going during the summertime when we don't have to worry about hurricanes. I'm planning on trying to sell my home and move back to Missouri where I don't have to worry about hurricanes.
Hey, the weather only tries to kill you seasonally here.
For 6 months.
Hey. If you
It's
can
only
manage,
6 months out of the year.
if you can manage it, come to Minnesota. Yes, the winters can be brutal, but everything else is great. And COVID has proven to us that you can go 6 months without ever leaving your house. So just stay indoors from November to April and you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I knew somebody who did that. My sister's boss, he owned a store that was connected to the downtown, the Minneapolis Skyway system. And he lived in a condo that was at the end of the Skyway system. The man did not own a winter coat. He just went all winter without ever going outside because the building that his condo was in also had a grocery store on the ground floor.
Didn't you get nearly as many tornado warnings as I did this year?
Oh, yeah, we get lots of tornado warnings.
Oh, that was another thing that happened.
You know, I mean, they only completely flatten like one town a decade.
Oh, they had, what was it, Greg? 30-something hurricane or tornado warnings during Hurricane Milton or more in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, I suppose the hurricanes spawn a lot of tornadoes.
They do.
Yes.
They do. Because what people have to understand about hurricanes is that they are rotating the whole time they're going over you. The whole time they are formed, they rotate, which can cause more counter rotation. Doesn't affect the tornadoes. They start popping up because you've got so many thunderstorms and the wind is swirling already. So, you know, you've got, it's pulling in warmer air, which is connecting with the colder air, which spawns the tornadoes.
Yeah, it can create the funnel clouds.
Yep.
Hurricanes fucking suck.
Yes, I believe I had a tornado come through right next to my house with Ian.
S15e01. Is that Luna I see there?
Yeah. Yes. And if I was using the voice changer, it's tied to an AI, and the mouth would open and close.
That looks like Luna from Hell of a Boss.
It is. He can't hear you because I'm wearing my headphones.
I have to say, nice.
All right, go on, buddy. If you want to listen into the stream, I'll give you the link, okay?
Yes, please.
Unless you guys want him on the show as well.
Let me see if I can turn the microphone on so you can see it move.
Well, he's not actually on. He's getting on Discord right now. Is it okay for me to give him the link?
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
Let me copy that. Copy link.
I mean,
Find tornado on Discord.
Yep. As long as he realizes he's got to give other people a chance to talk.
Yes, I will let him know.
I am surprised we didn't get hit by the remnants of Helene here with like 45-mile-an-hour winds. But...
So, Porpoise, did you have elections down in your area yesterday?
No.
Yeah, the Twin Cities had some, Minneapolis was going for a new mayor. St. Paul, I think, also had a new mayor. But yeah, where I am, all we had were some school board positions and a couple of, county commissioners.
Yeah, we didn't even have that. Although our state legislature is trying to redistrict.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And currently they don't have the votes for it. And they were going to call a special session, but they decided we're going to wait until December. Come back in session.
Yeah, the highest power position we had come up was the county water commissioner, which was basically saying who's going to be in charge of the sewers.
We haven't had any elections here. Not yet, anyway. I'm hoping that midterms will have some turnaround.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're looking for is, seats
Yeah.
in the federal Congress during the midterms.
Well, all of the special elections that were held yesterday, every single one turned blue.
That's an excellent sign, yes.
Yes. People are getting tired of the Republicans and their bullshit.
Yep. Well, all the promises that were made, for working class and low income people, and they haven't come through on a single one of them.
They never do. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, even Bernie Sanders would have been better than this shit.
Well, Bernie would have been great. The problem, the whole thing that Bernie did not get a chance to run, I thought was just proof that the Democrats are more concerned with maintaining the status quo than they were with winning the election.
Yeah.
Which just...
Yeah.
I will not say that the two parties are the same. They're not. But, the Democrats have just become, another party for supporting corporations, and they have lost their focus on helping average Americans.
Well, originally, the Republican Party was supposed to be the ones helping Americans. That's what it was originally, the party that was supposed to be doing that. Now, we just want to be popular.
Okay, not in my lifetime. That's
not the original Republican Party, not what we currently have.
Yeah.
It hasn't been for helping the Americans since before Reagan was president. Now, Reagan did a damn good job.
Roosevelt. That's the last time it really was.
Well, I was always brought up as a Democrat from the time I was a child. And that was pretty much just based on the fact that my dad knew that the Democrats were supporting the labor unions and that without his union, he couldn't have afforded to support our family.
Right.
Every problem we have today is because of Ronald Reagan. Everyone.
Yeah. Reagan's deregulations really had huge damage to everything.
He could have been a worse president.
Not much.
He could be Trump. Could have been Trump.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, that's the problem is that since Reagan, the Republican presidents have gotten progressively inept.
Yes. They have. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. And people have been saying we need to dissolve the Republican Party, especially after this bullshit.
Yep. Hey, Tornado. Long time.
Tornado.
Yep, that would be Tornado.
Hi, Tornado. Hi, Jenny.
Yep.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
I can't even remember the last time Tornado came into one of my streams.
So the last time...
Before Diana died.
Yeah.
So here's a question for those of us who live more in northern...
Before you go into that purpose, I just wanted to check in to let you know that I'm still alive, but I can't deal with being on the air. I'm in such a bad attitude. I'll just do nothing but scream and yell at everybody.
Okay, right. Jenny. Well, we appreciate you checking in with us.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, let us know on Twitter how things
say my words
today.
and leave. Right. Let me say my words and leave, please.
Okay.
Thank you for tolerating me. We'll chat. Love you lots. We'll see you, and maybe I'll even be alive next week. We'll see.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
For those of us who live in more northerly areas, how do you feel about this winter supposing to be shaping up to be one of the nastier ones?
I think it's about time. Where I've been, we've had, since I moved here 5 years ago, every winter has been so incredibly mild.
Yeah, do you know Blizzard?
Florida is normally not very cold at this point in time. It's usually not until January that we really start getting cold, but they're looking at, if we do, yeah. This coming week, we're supposed to be in my area in the 30s for the overnight low. We're going to be 35 come the 10th of November, which that's unseasonably cold for us at this time of year.
I have noticed it's been a bit nippy around here lately.
Well,
Yeah. We don't normally, in my household, we don't normally turn on the heat until mid-December because it's usually not that cold. So, but we have had to turn on the heat already at night. So,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be nasty this year.
I mean, I've
Was
only
that
been.
Luna I saw in C401's images?
Yes,
I thought
yes.
he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Luna's a she, I'm pretty sure.
She.
Well, yeah, this is weird because then it sounds like you're getting about the same temperatures we're having up here in Minnesota.
Yes, we are.
Oh, no. You're supposed to get below 0 temperatures that day.
Which day?
Next Wednesday. However, it is a forecast a week out, so keep that in mind. But no, the general forecast for this winter is supposed to be a really snowy winter.
Yes. Be like what Missouri used to be like when I was a kid. Blizzards every year, snow up to your knees.
Do you know snowstorms
More like
have
snow up your
categories?
ass.
Snowstorms have categories too.
Yes, they do. And then, of course, the occasional thunder snow.
Well, that doesn't. But
that's always fun.
Well, I'm looking at our local forecast here, and for the next 2 weeks, we've only got like 3 days that it goes below freezing, and the lowest it's ever getting here is 19 degrees at night.
Yeah, I don't do.
Yeah, most nights we're going to be in like the mid-30s. We'll be just above freezing.
I wouldn't put too much stock in a long-term forecast like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Any forecast more than 3 days in advance is not terribly reliable.
Yeah. Oh, Tornado, you're getting grilled cheese, by the way.
Neat.
The hamburger's still frozen.
Oh, well.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup is a great combination.
If he likes soup, yes. He hates soup.
I have grilled cheese and Mountain Dew then.
Grilled cheese is good on its own.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't particularly care for tomato soup, so.
I love tomato soup.
I love dipping the grilled cheese sandwich in the tomato soup.
Yes, tomato soup is my comfort food when I'm feeling yucky.
Pizza rolls are mine.
Well, everybody knows you like pizza. Pizza, if you could have pizza as its own food category, you would.
It's not?
It is its own food category.
Okay, to be fair, a properly made pizza has all 3 of your major food groups. You've got bread, you've got vegetables, you've got meat.
Yeah.
And depending how you make it, you could
Yeah.
make it with enough vegetables on it that it's a decently balanced meal.
Yes, you can. But he'd eat it every day if he could. And that's not healthy.
Okay. But again, this is an autistic thing.
Yes, it is. I know.
Some autistic people are known to eat the same thing every day for more than a year.
Oh,
and
yes.
then suddenly decide they don't like it and never touch it again.
Well, I have gotten him to try new foods, which is good.
That's good, yeah.
Inari sushi!
Inari sushi, yes.
I like eel myself.
But I can make bao buns now, and he'll eat those.
Yeah. Well, this is like, even though I live alone, I can make big batches of things in my 8-quart crock pot. And it doesn't bother me to be eating the same thing for more than a week.
Oh.
My mom makes this mac and cheese bake that's
Rest
basically
in me.
crack.
A town in Pennsylvania elected its first transgender mayor.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Don't recognize the town name though.
What is it?
Downingtown.
Yeah, I don't
Is
know
that
where that one
near
is.
Lehighton?
It's not near where I grew up, so I don't recognize it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, about the only part of Pennsylvania I know is where Diane was in New Versailles.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. You have North Central, you have the Anthracite Coal region, you have the Bituminous Coal region, you have that mine fire no one put out because it's just impractical.
Hershey Park.
Hershey Park.
I know these things are somewhere in Pennsylvania, but it's only that one little corner of the state that I ever drove through.
Right.
I mean, the Little League World Series is in Williamsport. I've driven over the mountain you can see in the background, which is scary.
Pennsylvania is huge.
I'm sorry. Aside from Diane living there, to me, Pennsylvania was a pass-through state.
Yeah,
I drove through it
Pennsylvania.
several times going between Minnesota and New York, but I didn't stop there for anything.
Pennsylvania takes about 8 hours to drive across, going east to west.
Yeah, I
By
just
the way,
went
love
across the
Balloon
stretch
Ash.
on I-90.
Thanks. I have the mouse operating with the AI mic sound and not any other mic sounding. You really need to play with some settings to get it to open and close right, depending upon microphone. So that's why I did to change it to this net. I hope it's not fucking up because my computer was freezing out for a while. I have a
Just clipping a little bit.
I usually, I need to do that and just stop running, but that's going to be probably 6 lives because we're looking at about 3 months of appeals and hopefully we get the them in what.
Yeah.
Athena
Still
is
I love the Hellhound.
Athena is avoiding the rule that she has to be on camera if she's going to get on my desk.
Yeah, I did see the tail pass by. Yeah, Ethan has been being my headrest for the whole time here.
Yes, and I've got Molly here trying to lick my foot.
I'll see if I can find my desktop camera and plug it in after I finish making Tornado's grilled cheese.
Yep.
Which is
And then you
almost
can
done.
show him the kitty.
Yes, then I can show him the kitty.
Sammy's son has been sitting up in the window because we're up in the mid-50s today, so I opened up the windows for him.
Really, we're up to the 70s almost.
Let's see.
Of course, we are further south. So.
Yeah, well, this is pretty much, we're in a stable holding pattern for the next couple of weeks. That mostly we're going to be having daytime highs in the 50s and nighttime lows in the 30s.
See if
so
I
not
can
too much of a
find
swing.
It. Let's see. Yeah, today we were actually up in the 70s again, or the 80s, rather. So we actually had a really nice day today. I've got at least my dining room door open.
Actually, this weekend we're going to get cold. That our highs are only just above freezing in the daytime, Saturday and Sunday. But then by Tuesday, we're back in the 50s again.
All right, Tornado, come get your food.
Go to park. Demon Orb, what's this about a hamburger popsicle?
And I'm going to go so I can eat.
Okay.
Later.
Catch you later.
See y'all.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Okay, Demon Orb, what's this about a hamburger popsicle?
No.
The hamburger was frozen, so Renee was only getting grilled cheese.
Okay, right. I thought a hamburger popsicle only happened if you didn't get the cows back in the barn early enough in Minnesota.
Oh my.
No, but seriously, you know, Minnesota, if you can manage through the winter, everything else here is great. You know, even our political stuff. I live in a red pocket.
Yeah.
But, you know, just because of the level of the state politics, even the Republicans here have to be moderates if they want to get elected.
Unfortunately, I do not think I could handle cold weather.
Yeah, it would be quite an adjustment coming from Florida.
No, you'll get used to it.
Yeah,
There
you know,
it
because
is.
I expect that you people have not actually experienced days below zero, and that's
My
in the middle of
Not in a long time.
My only experience was when I was a baby. My mom put me down in snow. I cried. That was the end of it. I didn't want anything else to do with that.
You know, that's exactly the reaction my cat Tasha had. That when I lived in my apartment, she was an indoor cat. When I moved in with my ex, she got to go outdoors, which she loved. Until the first snowfall, that there was snow on the deck, and I opened the door. She put one paw in the snow, turned around, went back to the couch, and decided she was going to be an indoor cat from November until all the snow was gone. Anytime she saw snow on the deck, she was just, nope, I'm staying in.
Okay, let's see.
Don't worry, you'll like blizzards much more than hurricanes.
Oh, I've been through blizzards.
Hey.
Long time ago.
Just to spice it up once in a while, we even occasionally get a tornado in a blizzard.
Yep.
I drove through one of those.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work.
Yeah, we've only got 2 months out of the year we have never had snowfall, and we only have 2 months out of the year we have never had tornadoes. So, you know, you've got 8 months out of the year that you've got a chance of getting either one.
Let's see.
If anybody's wondering what that noise is, it's Molly playing.
Ah. Yeah, I thought it was a doggy noise. But yeah, you know, I really do hope that the Democrats would get progressive enough, and you know that I think Tim Walz would be a good candidate for president in 2028 because he's got a track record that he can prove that, you know, you can take care of the poor people, you can have a solid middle class and a thriving economy all at the same time. You don't have to just choose one.
There we go.
Hey, there you are.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Tornado. I got my camera on finally.
Hi, Mom NATO.
Hi. Oh. Where are you, kitty?
So
come here.
We would appreciate, you know, everybody.
Come here, fat chunky. Oh. Here he is.
Kitty.
It's like, no, Mom. Come here. Look. There's Sylvester. Oh, come here, you. He's like, no, Mom, I want to cling. See his whiskers?
Yeah, come.
Yeah.
All right, come on up, Athena.
Oh, baby.
Come on up.
Oh. But he is a chunker.
Yep.
What are you doing now? Oh, no, you can't lay like that.
No. Here again is
come back down?
the GoFundMe link for Mom NATO's fundraiser.
Okay. All right.
You
All
know,
right.
and
go on.
I understand that a lot of people can't afford to contribute, but if you could still, you know, post the link on whatever social media you use, just, you know, the more eyes we can get the link in front of, the better the chance of getting the money there.
I had to turn my camera from the other direction to here because of the light on my desk.
Okay, Ivy, does your tuxedo cat also have extra whiskers?
Oh, okay, cool.
You know, and I have asked this to a half dozen people, you know, online who had tuxedo cats, and it's like every one of them, you know, looked at them and, you know, said that I was right, that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That the tuxedo cats just have more whiskers than other cats. Especially the ones coming out of the eyebrows. Especially just having the really long ones coming out of the eyebrows. You don't see that much in other cat coats.
Athena, are you showing me your fortitude?
Okay, camera, come on. Stay.
Okay,
there.
Well, Ivy, you have to tell Ned that if he drew a tuxedo cat, he has to make sure he adds whiskers in the eyebrows. I don't have whiskers coming from my eyebrows, but the last time I wore a tuxedo was 40 years ago for my sister's wedding.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever worn a tuxedo.
I know I haven't.
They're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mage, have you ever worn women's clothing?
No.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying a tuxedo is comfortable, but
a tuxedo was also probably my first experience with fake pockets.
Oh?
Yeah.
They don't have real pockets?
No, the rented tuxedos at least do not have real pockets. You know, they have the flaps to make it look like there's a pocket, but there's nothing there.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was, but my sister was shocked that when it came to it, that even in a rented tuxedo with no pockets, I was still able to produce a tape measure, 2 screwdrivers, and a knife when we need to fix things. You know, I don't go anywhere without a toolkit.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Spooky Bed here is reminding us this is also bonfire night.
Oh, okay.
Which would be great if I had a place to light a bonfire, but
yeah,
seeing as I'm renting, I think that the building managers would get a little upset if I did that on the lawn.
Yeah. Well, we're not allowed to light bonfires in our yards, in the front yard where it can be seen. So
we're allowed to have fire pits.
And the name of the ivy is 2D ivy because there is now a 3D ivy that looks almost like 2D ivy.
Okay.
I thought that was Ivy's sister, or
No.
well, her sister, but actually it's her due to some time machine accident.
There's going to be another sister. No, this one is almost like it, but it's in other words, it's a 3D model that is shaded and looks almost exactly like Ivy. And I mean,
Ned, have you been cloning her again?
Okay, I'm gonna have to go walk Molly. So
Okay.
If you guys are still running, I'll come back in. But if not, there's a link to my new channel, Mage's Media Musings. I'll do Sunday show at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, do you have a topic for this Sunday show?
No, I don't. I skipped last week's because the time change messed me up too much.
Okay.
Well, just remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot.
Yep. V for Vendetta might be a good one to cover. All right, later.
Well, you know that's also sounding like a nice suggestion now, but we of course do not do not support any violence on this channel. At least
Right.
none that you can link back to us.
That's right. It is the 5th of November.
Yep. It is
Wait,
Guy
you mean
Fawkes
Day.
Guy Fawkes Day, yes.
Yep.
You mean I have to give up trying to wipe out the Brotherhood of Steel in my Fallout 4 playthrough?
Maybe not.
Oh, real violence. Okay, fictional violence. Okay.
Yeah, in Minecraft or in D&D.
Yo.
No, it's been.
5:39.
I am glad that I'm no longer going to work when the stars are out, but because someone needs to put this place in its correct time zone.
What am I doing for dinner for myself?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that we should stay on summertime the year round.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Well, and auto insurance companies keep the statistics, and there was always a huge surge in traffic accidents the week after the time change.
Yep. Because people aren't used to it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're having to go into work earlier than you're used to.
Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with the time change. It just has to do with this. For whatever reason, as far west as we are, we're in Eastern time.
Yeah. I've always wondered about that, about why Indiana wasn't in Central Time.
Parts of it are.
But, yeah.
Well, I think what happens is the circadian rhythm gets screwed up.
Exactly.
When you change the time, your body gets used to a certain time, and you're like, okay, I'm good here. I'm happy. I can do this. And then all of a sudden, in the fall, you're an hour behind.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it's like
a
your
while
brain
for your
goes
body to get used to the new schedule.
Yeah. And then by the time your body gets used to it, of course, you have to change again.
Athena reminds me that Trita clock's time does not change despite the clock changing.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem that farmers have, that, the cows aren't aware of the clock changing, and they still expect to be milked at the same time.
Right. There we go.
Oh, yeah, but it's a knuckle back and shut up. Sorry, I forgot to mute my mic for that.
You're fine.
That was just a stretch.
Oh, yeah, stretches are always fun.
Trying to straighten out my back again. Well, have we kind of wound down here? Should we wrap it up for the day?
I'm going to have to go anyway. I have got to get food for myself now that Tornado is eaten.
Okay.
And I have to do some more laundry in order to be ready for work tomorrow. Joy of joys. So much fun.
Okay, well, we've got your GoFundMe started.
Yes, I appreciate it.
But yeah, we're going to do the main push not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Right.
So do you have anything else? Any final words on any of the topics you're on?
Not really. I hope everybody has a good day. Enjoy your weeks. Hopefully things will improve.
Okay.
God knows we need them to improve.
Yeah. Hopefully the government will at least unlock some of the money that they're supposed to.
Yeah, but they're saying that the reduced food stamps won't go to everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm betting it's going to be the people who are not working first, and people like me who are working will not get food stamps.
No, it's probably going to be people in red states in their turn.
Well, I'm in a red state, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'll get them.
Yeah. Well,
So
they may go with people on Social Security, so
right.
you may get them through tornadoes disability.
Maybe. We'll see. But so far, I have no pending benefits, it says.
Yeah, nobody knows at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, take care. We'll try
Yep.
to get you the help we can.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Commander, you have any final
Yep.
words to wrap up?
Everybody have a good night. I also showed some models that we're working on, and looks like there's going to be more time to get that mini movie done.
Well, and I saw that starship on your Discord. I mean, that thing was awesome.
I'm still working on it. I almost baked the textures. That thing is more than a mile long. It's 1,400, I think 60 something kilometers, not kilometers, meters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually to scale. All the windows are 2 meters long. 2 meters tall.
Yep.
And it turns out if you try to make a Star Destroyer, the ones in Star Wars are absolutely stupendously, ridiculously sized. This thing is bigger than the Enterprise E. Just the front part.
Yeah, a mile long. And that's just for the ones, the first generation ones.
Yep. That's huge.
And that ship that I showed just here, if you can't read Klingon, it says Trident.
Okay, Porpoise.
All right. Where is this? All right, there it is.
Yep, we can hear you.
I am the Sinister Porpoise. When you think of Sinister Porpoises, think of the Sinister Porpoise. I am actually fairly close on Clapper to being able to go for creator verification, the first step. I need fewer than 100 followers. I just mostly tell little silly jokes there because it's very similar to TikTok, but happens to be teen-free.
Yeah, so you can do some not safe for workplace jokes.
Well, my students aren't there. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Because you have to be over 17 to be on that app.
Right.
Okay.
And it's not some people do adult content on it, but it's not, mostly it just seems to be like a TikTok clone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But less annoying than TikTok from what I've found so far.
Well, you can, because it was kind of adopted as a free speech app for a time, there's still a lot of right-wingers on it, but...
Yeah, no, I don't mean content-wise, I just mean, function-wise, it doesn't annoy me as much to go to it.
But then they started kicking a lot of conspiracy theorists off. In any case, if you want to be followed there, follow me there and help me just get to that step. It's at Mad Computer Scientist over there. I'm not active on YouTube right now just because it's the wrong time of year. But you can follow me at Mad Computer Scientist there. If Indiana ever makes it so I'm not allowed to do my current job, I will probably return to the Sinister Porpoise channel, and that's a Star Wars ship.
Yep.
And you can follow me there. Be excellent to each other, and so long, and thanks for all the fish.
Oh.
Yeah. I just wanted to enlarge this to look at the ship Commander 401 is showing.
That's the Trident. That's a updated version of Ivy's ship.
Hmm.
And this is a killer laptop, even though like it has very little RAM and the RAM can't be updated. But that's actually ray tracing right now.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So
Okay. My unfinished song.
So, I'm moving ahead on my job hunt, and I'm going to be driving Uber to kind of supplement income in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
And regarding the Let Freedom Ring project, see, I've been going back and forth with Humanist Guitarist and kind of getting his input on how I should best package the file that I send out to everybody that sings. And he's going to make a little modification to the file that he sent me earlier. And hopefully I should be able to start sending it out like next week. Speaking of which, Purple, you had mentioned that you might have connections to round up a transmask person to pitch in. Anything to share in that respect?
Well, at this point, Dr. Ben is the only one left that I could ask.
Okay, and I have talked to him, and his feedback is that with all the stuff going on with the army and all that, he's he's not.
Well,
able
that's
to do
why
that.
I had left him to be able to last call, because I knew he's pretty busy with a bunch of things.
Yep.
I know that there are places I can post that there are a bunch of trans men, but not ones that I know personally at this point.
Gotcha.
The ones I know personally have kind of gone inactive.
Okay.
So, well, for me, I don't have anything going on except we will be back here same time next week. And then, for Mom NATO, we're trying to plan the fundraiser, for November 14th, 15th, and 16th. So, anybody who would be up to running a stream anytime that weekend, if you just drop me a DM and let me know what times would work for you, so we could, schedule a bunch of streams to just kind of get it in front of as many people as possible. If we can get it on a bunch of different channels so we get different audiences seeing it. Excuse me.
I dropped you a time where I can literally do any time.
Okay. The only one we have set definitely is that the Shills is going to run a pub chat on that Saturday starting at 2 p.m. Central, because Tornado and I had both been on the Shills show regularly in the older days.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get a bunch of the old team Shills together for a pub chat for that.
I'll try and show up for that one. I just have to rearrange when my work schedule is. Thankfully, I can set my own time. So
yeah, that's good. So yeah, other than that, we will see you all next week. Everybody, take care. I know these are difficult times for everyone. So hopefully with yesterday's election results, hopefully show the tide is turning, and hopefully that we can manage to get ourselves through this. So, bye all.
Bye.
Be good. Do crime.